Trying to line the hinge up right on the corner.
Oh yeah.
And then we'll set that one.
My dad used to tell me if you work steel cold, you'll go to hell. I hope he wasn't right about that.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're back in the shop, and I just want to say thank you. We hit 60,000 subscribers. That's pretty cool. Thanks for the support. That's awesome. We're excited, and we've got some pretty awesome videos coming up, and we're excited to show you, get some audio issues figured out. We're about on a good roll here. So we're back in the shop, and those gates we made, now we've got the still, and we're going to finish the man gate that ties them into the fence on the side. So we're going to finish that man gate and hopefully get back in time to work on a horse trailer. We got some work that needs done, another project to get out of the way. So let's get started. So this is kind of the layout according to the stencil drawing. Just a big square 6 foot tall gate and angle iron because it will overlap against the other gate or the square tube, right? The upright for these. What are we putting in it? Are these going to match these with the mesh, with the holes in it? Or
You wanted us to lay that on there and see, I think we should use that.
that mesh? Make them match?
Because the stuff he sent us over is full 6 foot tall, and we cut this 3 inches short, so it would clear the ground when it swings.
Right.
And if we do that, we're gonna have to cut that off out there.
Copy. So let's go look. So the old fence that we're tying into is chain link, and so this is a little bit of what he took out. So we'll have the gates in the driveway. This will hook into the gates on the sides. So we didn't know if the man gate should match the fence or match the gates, but it's hard to build a nice new gate and throw that in the middle of it, because how are we gonna mount it, stretch it tight, make it look good anyways?
My theory on that is if he had wanted a chain link gate, he would have went and walked.
That's over 6 foot anyways.
It is, it's 6 foot 1 inch, so that ain't gonna work.
Let's just add some mesh to it. We'll make it match the driveway.
Well, Sean's got it all tacked together. I think we can go ahead and weld that. This gate's set up so it's going to match these big gates. We've got these cross braces in them, so when everything's closed, they should look dead level across there. Kind of help it look better. He'll finish welding that, and then we'll put some screen on it, and it's about ready.
We're not going to do a welding contest to see whose looks better, but
Sean did good.
she's going to hold, and with paint on it, it won't matter. She won't see it anyways, but looks pretty good. So just like those, we'll just lay some screen mesh on the front, weld the outsides, rivet the centers.
Be good.
It'll match.
Yeah.
So we've got to decide on some hinges. Show us what hinges you have.
I bought a bunch of these a few years ago, and they work really good. They have a little ball up inside of here, and you can grease them. And basically,
So just weld on stuff.
yeah, basically we'll just weld one like that, and then onto the post, and then the bottom one we'll weld it upside down so that you can't pull the gate off.
Right.
And they work really good. I think that's a 3,500 pound hinge.
Sweet. Let's test it out. See if the gate holds or the hinge holds.
I'm pretty sure the hinge
We better not do that.
will break that gate, 'cause that's only 8 inch thick. So,
How high or whatnot? Tops and bottoms?
yeah,
Come down a foot?
yeah. These are heavy enough. We can put them about anywhere, and they'll hold.
I like that. Those are sweet hinges.
We've got a
Grease them up, no squeaking.
right. The only other thing we got to do this is we got to make a latch for it.
Right.
Something so when they push the gate shut, it's kind of like an auto latch, like something spring loaded that latches against it.
So what does this hit against?
This will hit against the chain link.
Chain link?
fence.
So what kind of post is on it?
It's like a
Just a
like a
round.
2 inch round post. And I decided to use angle iron just because it'd overlap it and hit it and work really
Right. I was
clean.
thinking something to flip over. Something will have to push behind the post then, so it may have to stick out.
Right. I don't know. We'll have to think about that one for a minute.
It's kind of hard when you're not right at where these are going. You look at it and you see it, but until you actually use it and it actually works.
Right. I use the swag method a lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get lucky. Sometimes I cut it apart and redo it when I get there. But we're going to think about it for a minute. We'll figure out a hitch or a lock on it.
Good afternoon, guys. Here with my dad again, hanging out at his place. We got a pretty sweet project for you, at least for us. Check this out. Old livestock trailers. Why are they awesome? Because they're paid for usually.
And you can fix them.
And
Aluminum ones, when they fall apart, you sell them.
yeah, you can weld those up.
I guess you can weld them, yeah.
But what's cool about these is a lot of times you'll see newer, at least better looking trucks pulling old trailers, and you know the old trailers have paid for the new trucks.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Yeah.
A lot of times you'll see brand new trailers, but you got to appreciate the old ones because you know what they've been through. And you know this one's been through a lot. It's been around. My wife's uncle owned it once. Now another guy in town owns it. And it's time for a floor. Which he's washed it. He's got the floor out. And it's ready to go. But what exactly? I think he wants some cancer fixed, doesn't he?
Yeah, we got some straps we got to put on the floor. He's going to put a rubber floor in it, one of these new style rubbers. And then the front is kind of rotted out, and the calves have really bended over the years, or horses or whatever has been hauled in here, a little bit of everything. So we got to cut about 10 inches out, put a new piece in, get rid of all the rust. And we got to bring the front back in. It's kind of binding the jack up. And if we can't make the jack work better, we'll probably just put a new jack on it.
So the jack hooks right.
It hooks right up there. There's not really
There's not a
structure. They just kind of put ribs in the tin, and that's the structure, which works really good. I mean, this thing's, how old do you think this is?
I don't know.
Maybe 20 years old?
More. I'm sure it's early 90s.
So it's hauled a lot of cattle, because Sean's uncle runs the livestock sale, and so he's always hauling cattle. And then Ray picked it up, I think, 2 years ago or 3 years ago,
or 10 years ago.
Time
gets away from you.
Yeah, Ray hauls a lot of cows too. He has a lot of cows, so we're gonna cut this off right here somewhere, and then we're gonna work it all back and put a new piece, a 10-inch piece, all the way across there.
Above this angle iron, or just add it?
We'll drop it right now. We'll chip all the rest of this rust off and drop it right down to the floor right there. That way it'll be easy to weld, and I think it'll make it stronger.
Yeah.
If we can weld it into that angle.
You have to wash less out if there's rust holes, is what I've decided. It'll only fill up to a certain point, and then it comes out. So it's self-cleaning. So.
And you can kind of see where the level is here, because there's holes through it.
Yeah, that's how most trailers are. She's got some miles on it. I guarantee this trailer could tell some stories. It's been around.
It's wore several pickups out. I know that. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, we'll get her back in the shop. I couldn't get in. I had to move some stuff, but it's moved. The door's open. We'll get back in and get a little bit better game plan. I was just noticing how straight the axles look in my trailer. They're bent quite bad, and these are pretty flat with the straps. They got just the right arch in them, but they are pushing up through the framework.
They're all broke.
We'll do some reinforcing, weld the axles back in it. It'll be ready for a new floor. All right, guys, this is what's going on here. The axles are pushing up through the bottom. There's cracks. And this back axle, there's a crack. I've ground them out, I've V'd them. We'll weld them back in. And then we're gonna lay some angle iron and span the whole thing and weld it in to give it some new structure, new support, and tie it back together. And that should keep this old trailer going down the road.
What do you think, Sean? Is it ready?
Well, she's all cleaned up. It's hot in here. These leathers are hot. I think it's ready. Got it pretty much ground down, clean metal. And I think something like that, we can just mostly weld all the way along, top, bottoms. I think the axles will spread it. I think it'll support the trailer better. We'll just get to welding and get this side done, get that side ready, and then we can lay some straps in the middle.
And then turn it around.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's working out good. Got some welding done. You guys let me know in the comments what you think, if this is substantial enough to keep this trailer together, to keep the axles under it and attached, not in the bar ditch somewhere as you're going down the strip. But check it out, I think it looks pretty good. I think it's gonna hold it. I know it's dark in here, it's kind of hard to see, but to me, I feel like that's a pretty good fix. We V'd it out the best we could, welded it back together, and plated it with angle iron. The only thing we could do more is get underneath it and weld the bottom side, but that's pretty hard to do. It's dirty and tires and tight, and I think it's pretty good. So next, we've got these 3 straps. We'll stagger out through here, just evenly space them.
I got them marked already.
And Dad's got them marked, so we'll lay them out, and that should tie all these individual angle irons together, because his new floors are going to run the other way. Should be good.
Well, it's another beautiful morning here in the valley. I'm going to be working on this trailer again today for a little bit. I've got some strap I got to weld in the floor. I got to space this out and weld it. And then I'm going to pull the trailer out because we're going to put a new jack under it. We're going to cut all this stuff off, put some channel iron in here. But I don't have the steel yet. It won't be delivered till later today. And the customer is not going to have the jack here until probably Saturday. So we'll get the floor ready, then we'll pull it back in and fix it next week. Well, I'm just getting ready to weld these straps in the floor. I've got them all laid out where they go. I just got to weld them in now, and then I'll drag this trailer out of here. All right, it's all welded. It all looks good. Had to change a plan on the gate. They want it to swing both ways instead of one way. The sheeting will be with it. Be here for it today, same time the steel is for the trailer, so I can get the gate changed around so it swings both ways, and then all I got to do is just put the sheeting on it, and then the gate's done. I go put it in. I've had a lot of visitors in and out of here today, but seems like I've got a lot done. I got a couple of trailers fixed, and I got a set of tires put on my brother's truck, and another truck fixed for a friend of mine. But I have been working on this gate a little bit. I've got it all cut apart again. I had a piece of angle iron on this side because I was going to make it so it's shut against a pipe, and he wants it to swing both ways. So I had to do a little work to the hinges. These are the hinges. I had to add an extra 3/8 to the bottom of them so it'll stick it out far enough so the gate will spin both ways. But anyway, I'm gonna get that all welded together tomorrow. And Schultz's brought me another sheet of mesh, so I can put a sheet of mesh on it, and I should be able to knock that out. Another day in the shop. I am gonna see if I can get this gate finished today. All my pieces are cut. This piece has just got to go right there. Then I got to cap the ends. Then I'm going to cut some sheeting and put on it. Weld the hinges on it. And then this gate's ready to go. Well, the gate is looking great. I got the tin on it. Got the hinges on it. See, I had to put a little plate right here to space it out so it'll swing both directions. I'm just about to get the latch done. I got some 1/2-inch rod here I'm going to bend, and then it'll stick out over the gate, and the handle will be up like this. So you'll push it down and then pull it up. Push it down and pull it up. I got this old press that I actually built this thing at least 20 years ago, maybe more. I was going to buy one, but you couldn't buy one that's as good as this is built. And so I just built my own. As you guys get to know me, you'll find out that I build a lot of stuff. If I need it, I usually build it. I don't buy it. That's just what I do. Hopefully some other people out there do the same thing. Well, I think that'll work. My dad used to tell me, if you work steel cold, you'll go to hell. I hope he wasn't right about that, because I didn't heat that steel. I just pounded it around. Anyway, this is what it's going to do. It'll lock, and you'll twist it up and unlock it. Anyway, just about like that. I'll probably put something a little heavier on the top right here. I think I got some big ball bearings. Maybe to weight that down just a little bit, so when it's down like that, it holds it against the stopper. I'll put a stopper right here to stop it, and then one on the bottom right here to stop it, so it only goes so far down. That's where I'm at today. I'll just continue on here. So I'm getting pretty close on the handle. This is kind of what I've come up with. They'll turn back to there, and then they'll lock down over the other gate, the other fence that's already up in canal. And I think I'm going to put a little spring on that so it springs back. I haven't decided on the spring yet. I'm still thinking about it. Okay, well, this is pretty well done. I think I am going to put a little spring right there so it pops that back. I think that's what I'm going to do. Then I'll squirt a little grease in it. Put my grease cert on. It goes right there. And squirt a little grease in it. And that thing's going to work great. I got my plates made to plug the square tubings that I welded the other fence to. These are going to be pounded in the ground for the stays that I put in the middle of the gate, the stakes that'll go down. And that bolt, I'm just going to use that bolt to beat it into the dirt. But I got two of them, one for each gate. Monday morning, getting my old Ford loaded up. Got my welder in, got to get my torch, some grinders, some welding rod. Gonna go put this gate in today. See if we can figure out how to hook up some electric gate openers. Sean's gonna go with me today.
Hey guys, good morning. Got my water changed and it's work time. So here we are. Looks like my dad got everything loaded. The old work truck again. Gonna have to get used to that. He did a heck of a job on the gate. I like it. Let's get rolling and go see how it matches up to the old one. Think it's gonna look good?
I think it's gonna look good.
Heck yeah.
I think we need to just go do it.
And we need to go drive the old truck anyways. What's a good old cruise up over the sands? It's gonna hurt nothing.
We'll have to show you about this truck someday. It's been on Paul's Fab Rats channel a couple of times, and on Merlin's Old School Garage, and on Industrial Injections, and it needs to be on Sean's. He needs to tell about it because he put a lot of miles on this thing.
It will be.
Fast miles.
As long as it keeps running, as long as we don't blow it up or something. Well, we're here. Lambs are chipping, so we probably need to be off the street. Papa Door's gonna make a mess here in a minute. Still hanging. Hinges haven't fell off. I guess the welds are warranted, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they held.
They held. We had some pretty severe wind over the weekend too. Well, this is the gate we're putting in. This little walk-through gate.
Just barely got it somewhat standing on its own. Kind of first impressions here.
Looks like the gap is good. That's
sagging just barely. But once it's,
I figured about 1/2 to 3/4, and looks like we're
3/4.
It's about 3/4. So yeah,
maybe half down. Yeah. Come on this side. See what you think from the outside. We're trying to line the hinge up right on the corner.
Oh yeah.
And then we'll set that one. Our block's just not quite. So if that goes right there, that should be level with the post. And then we just have to level it. It should level it both ways, honestly. But
that looks dang nice.
It's kind of teetering there, but looks good, right?
I like it. And then Lloyd's gonna paint them to match the plastic slats in the chain link fence,
color, right?
The tan color.
Sweet, that'll look good.
And once it's painted, you won't be able to look through it as easy. It'll be a little harder to see through.
We'll get her tacked on, and then we'll see how it opens. See how it misses and clears and looks. Welder things are just about to happen. We got a tack on it. We'll get some levels straight. So if we raise this end up, you level that side, and I'll level this side. A little far. Level's just a hair long. Pretty much touching. Case. Oh, that went a little. That's not horrible. Right. Where's level sideways?
It's got to come this way a little.
That's leaning, so the post must not be. Check the post. Okay. So do we level it or just match the post here? Be nice if you could tell us before we weld this. But I'm thinking we match the post, because otherwise it makes it look way bad.
It's laid out really bad.
Let's tack it, because if it's not level, it's gonna open funny, right?
Let's just tack it.
Let's tack
We
it.
got pretty level with the fence.
Yeah. Lean it to me just a hair. Let me bump it back to you. Right there. Tack that. Well, opens this way. How about this way? Woo! Hinges work. Levels right there, right? Perfect. Shut it and latch it. Oh man, I dig it.
That bugger get done with it, huh?
Yeah, let's put some 7018 on it and call it finished. There's a wrap on the gates.
It turned out pretty good. He's happy with them, so that's even better.
Yeah, happy customers, we're great. So
we're gonna
Little welding done, and the gates are hanging. Let's go eat some lunch.
Let's do it.
We'll head back and probably go to work on a horse trailer. We'll see if we can get a little floor fixed and a little new life to an old trailer.
Well, we're back in the shop. Made it home from putting the gates up. Just got the old Ford unloaded. Was going to work on a horse trailer this afternoon, but the jack never came in. So I'm thinking rather than bring that in here and start cutting it all apart, I'm going to wait till next week. We're going to go start hauling hay in the next couple of days. And so I think I'm going to work on my forklift. I had to move some containers last week, and I kind of did a bad deal to the forklift. Let me show you. This is my forklift, and I got this fork a little bit twisted under it, and this thing has a swivel head, and I swiveled it and it bent that pin right there, which isn't bad because the pins were bent a lot worse than that when I first got this forklift, and I straightened them. So I think I'm going to pull the pins off, put it in my press, and straighten it back out. That's what I'm hoping. And then I've got a hydraulic leak to fix. This fitting right here is broke, and it's just spraying hydraulic oil out when you go to swivel the head. So I'm going to take that hose off and I'm going to fix it. I think that's what I'm going to do. Sean had some other things to do, so he had to take off, so it's just me here. So I guess that's what I'll do. Yeah, so Sean just got back. He's going to help me straighten the rest of this beam out, this pin out.
You think it's possible?
It was worse than that when I got the forklift and I straightened it.
It looked pretty bad on the lift.
Yeah, the fork was laying clear sideways on it. I think maybe heat it from the bottom.
I was just going to jump sides, dude. Can you see it giving any?
Not yet. Oh yeah, it's getting there.
It's flattening out.
It's flattening. It's only got to go just a little bit more, another ½ inch probably. I think when I did this before, I cut these holes in the sides and run the pin through, and that's how I straightened it before when I first got this lift. Yeah, that had a pretty good bend in it right there before I started.
Soaking the heat up. It's not even. I think that'll do it. Check that straight edge. See if it's. That looks dang good. Oh yeah.
It's a little past. I think if we let it cool a little bit and then let the tension off, maybe it'll stay.
Heck yeah.
Give us your thoughts. If you got an easier way to straighten them, we're all ears. Because it gets bent every once in a while.
That did pretty good.
I mean, this is the first time I've bent it, and I've had this forklift for about 8 years. But it was really bent when I got it. It was bent everywhere before. So if you got any ideas on how to straighten this better, let us know in the comments. Now I just got to pull this line off. I think I'm going to pull it outside. I don't want oil all over my floor. So I think I'll do that right now. Well, I've been working on this forklift for the last couple hours. Had a lot of visitors, so I haven't been able to video much. But I got it all back together. Got the forks on it straight now. Fixed my line. I cut that fitting off and crimped a new fitting on it. And now it's not leaking. So yeah, it's looking really good. So now I should be able to park this for a few weeks until we tear this front end apart. You can see it's leaking oil out this vent. It's blowed the brake piston out. The brake is in this front end and it's blowed one of the O-rings out of the piston, is what I'm thinking. because when you step on the brake, it shoots oil out that vent hole. So you kind of don't really have any brakes. Kind of makes it interesting when you're trying to unload something or load something, because you gotta set the park brake and roll it in and stop it. And yeah, it's sketchy. But anyway, I've got this all fixed and I think I'm gonna go in the house. Well, a good morning to everybody. It's a beautiful day today. We've been getting rain for the last few days in the evening, but it looks like it's gonna be a great day today. I'm back in the shop today. I've got a trailer here that Sean and I have been working on. We're gonna see if we can get this thing done. We got to cut all of this stuff off, cut the jack off, take this aluminum off, and we got to pound the back, and the bottom's rusted out. So I got a new piece. We're going to cut that and put a new piece in it. Then I've got some 3-inch channel iron that's going to go all the way across here, so it keeps from bowing that in. And then it'll run down the side of the jack, and the new jack will weld back into it. Anyway, that's what's on the agenda today, is to get this trailer fixed so that I can get it out of here and get caught up on a few of the projects that I have around here. Anyway, follow along. Should be a fun day. Okay, well, I got it in the shop, and now to start taking it apart. Sean talked a lot in our last video about plasma cutters. Yeah, we've got one, and I use the heck out of it. So I'm going to use it to cut all of this stuff out of here. I got all the hard stuff done so far. It's all cut out, got all the rust cut out, the jack's off, the braces off, and it actually is really super thin. I've just got to bend this side here back just a little bit. But I think I'm going to go ahead and cut my channel iron and put it in first. That way I can have this all solid before I weld my piece of 8-inch strap back in there. So I think that's what I'll do, and it'll make life a lot easier once it's all solid. Well, we are going back together with it. Got my piece of 3-inch channel in there. I just got to pull these out even and weld them, and that'll pull all of this wall out so it's tight against that. And then I'll tack it in really good, and then I will put this bottom piece in. It should be pretty easy, because I'm going to lay it over this side and fold it down that side. That side way I can weld it there and weld it here. And I will weld it solid, because I don't want the cows kicking it in. It's about 3 times as heavy as what this is that they've got that I'm putting in it. So it should make this trailer hold up really well. So I'm trying to figure out how to pull this forward. And what I'm thinking is I take a strap, feed it behind it. Guess I can probably just do both of them at once. Feed it behind it, and then hook it around the 5th wheel and ratchet strap it forward. Right along. Just like that. That's a little far. I'm going to let it off just a little bit, but that's going to work. Yeah. Okay, well, this trailer's coming right together. I've got the channel iron all welded in, square tubes welded in, this wall pushed back. Now I've got a piece of strap that I cut to go in front of this, and behind that I just got to grind them welds where I cut it off the other one. Then I'm going to stick that in and weld it. Probably ought to grind the paint off just a little bit too. It'll be easier to weld. So yeah, it's coming right along. It's looking pretty good. Busy morning, but I got that all welded in. I got to cut 2 3-inch channel irons, run one down each side to weld the jack to, and weld it to all of that. And then this trailer's done. He can come and get it and take it home. Turned out pretty nice though. Got my channel irons cut. I actually milled them so they fit around this little contour right there, so they fit better. Now I just got to weld it in right there, like that. And weld it in good, and then pull it back so it's straight, both sides. And then I'll slip the jack up in the middle between them and weld the jack on, and this thing's done. Okay, well, this is all done. Jack's welded in, all the steel's on. I think I'm going to squirt some gray paint on it. Tell them to come and get it. Turned out pretty nice. Thanks for watching.